Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Stadia Pladia. Today we are reviewing Kaze and the Wild Mask, so sit back, relax, and let's see what this game has to offer. So I was very excited when I first learned about Kaze. When I watched Pixel Hive's first trailer, I just really dig the colors and aesthetics. The pixel animation is excellent. There was no doubt in my mind that I was going to purchase this on release. The story begins with Kaze and her friend Hogo finding a temple, and inside this temple is a mysterious ring that Kaze attempts to touch, but then she gets blasted with an energy that leaves her incapacitated for a few seconds. Meanwhile, Hogo's souls get captured and trapped inside the cursed ring. We then see the mysterious energy leaving, only to realize that it was a sorceress that plans to curse the entire Crystal Islands. It's now up to Kaze and her trapped friend to save the islands from the sorceress. So let's jump into the gameplay. The game is a 2D platformer with some core mechanics. You can jump, glide, attack, and ground pound. You progress by completing one level after another. And every island has their own boss at the end, and you unlock the next island after defeating them. By playing the game, you'll notice that it's trying to be a spiritual successor of Donkey Kong Country. Kaze controls almost the same as Dixie Kong in DKC 2 and 3. If you're familiar with her, then you won't have any trouble getting used to this game's control. These types of platformers requires precision in jumping and landing at the right spot. I just want to mention that I've completed the game on Stadia and I haven't noticed any latency, and the game played perfectly well on the platform. It made my experience very enjoyable. Level crafting in 2D platformers is not an easy task. You have to make sure that the level spacing is satisfying and fun. You also have to make sure that there's enough variety to keep the player going throughout the game. Most of Kaze's playthrough achieved that. But I've noticed that in the last island, there's a few questionable spots where I feel like it could have been done a little bit better. It's hard to explain, but there's just certain places where the flow just didn't feel right. The enemies are well executed, but I wish that they had better visual and variety. They're all just vegetables, like carrots, corns, eggplants. It just doesn't feel cool, you know? I'm not sure where they were going with vegetable enemies, since this is not an educational game, and I feel like it's not made for younger kids either. In some of the levels, you'll be able to wear a mask with different powers. The bird can fly and shoot projectiles. The shark can swim and attack underwater. The dragon, or lizard, needs you to move constantly, but you can double jump. And the tiger, which lets you climb walls and dash. I really like these masks since it breaks the regular gameplay into something different. When you start the game, you have the option to put the difficulty to casual or original mode. In casual mode, you'll have a lot more checkpoints and hearts in all levels. I recommend casual mode if you're not too familiar with 2D platformers. Kaze is actually pretty hard, but I like that because it gives enough of a challenge to returning Donkey Kong Country veterans like myself. There is no life or 1-up system. When you die, you just restart back from either the beginning of the level or at a checkpoint. This means that you can try the level as many times as you want. I feel like this brings a modern taste to the game because in reality, there's really no point in having a life system. All bosses at the end of each island are very fun. It's not really a how do I defeat this boss, but more of a I have to make it through these difficult platforming sequences to defeat it. They are very hard, but also very satisfying when you finally defeat them. And kudos to the team for the final boss, they really nailed it and was just an epic end boss. On top of that, the game has a bunch of replayability. Every level has 3 types of crystal that you can obtain. You can get a gold crystal by collecting the letters K, A, Z, and E in the level, the green crystal by finding and completing 2 mini challenge, and the purple crystal by collecting at least 100 mini crystals. And you get a badge if you finish the level while taking no damage. These extra crystal allows you to unlock special levels and a secret ending. You can also earn a bronze, silver, or gold medal by trying the level in time trial mode. What's nice about this is that there's a global leaderboard that shows the fastest time completed on a certain level. So if you're up for the challenge, you can compete with other real players for the fastest time. The music is alright, you know, I don't want to sound too picky, but it's hard to compare with David Wise' masterpiece in the Donkey Kong Country series. But I do like the title theme of Kaze, and the music has enough to differentiate from other platformers. It does its job at matching the ambience of the levels, but that's about it for me. I've listened to the soundtrack a couple of times, but on its own without the game, it's just not something that I'd put in my current playlist. Alright guys, this concludes my review. I think that I've babbled enough for you to have a clear picture to know if Kaze and the Wild Mask is for you or not. So do I recommend this game to you? Absolutely. I think that anyone who has at least a slight interest in 2D platformers should give it a try. It's definitely my top 1 platformer of the year, and it really stands out from most other indie games. I really hope that Pixel Hive continue this series and we see other games similar to this one. I had a blast! Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button if you enjoyed this review of Kaze and the Wild Mask on Stadia. See ya!